Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today to review. I'm trying to be a completist to the '80s slasher films, especially the ones that came like in half success of Halloween, like in '79, like '83, '84. Those ones. I did a review about. They did a slasher movie craze one that was like an hour long. Some coming in, it was mostly clips from other things, including the Cisco Ebert Women in Danger ones. I found out about some of the ones I never heard from Cisco Ebert, along with this video. He talked about Girls Night Out, which I never saw before. I watched that, reviewed that, and Cisco Ebert mentioned a movie like The Terror, which was awesome, from 1979 or 80, not the classic bizarre Boris Karloff, Jack Nicholson Terror, but it was just called Terror from Crown International. And also Madman, and Madman sucked. I mean, Madman sucked bad. And they mentioned a movie called Phobia on the thing, and they had a whole thing. I never heard of Phobia before. I looked up; it was free on YouTube, so I said, "Hell, I'll check it out." And it was directed by famous director John Huston of all people, who directed such classes as Maltese Falcon and Treasure Sierra Madre. He did this in 1980, and it started that Paul Michael Glazer, who he looked familiar. I thought I was sure he was on Starsky. Thought, yeah, he played Starsky, and he played the psychiatrist. And I guess he's doing like these radical experiments to help cure a select few people from the phobias. And it turns out, I mean, you find a little later on that these were like prisoners, and they were given a choice if they wanted to volunteer for this state help cure them of their psychological stuff. Most of them like armed robbery and a whole bunch of other stuff. And it was like 4 or 5 people, and they have like he puts them in this room, and he has like 2 walls, and it shows like a footage of what they're afraid of. He just confronts them what they're afraid of. The guy's like afraid of heights, like I am. Uh and the guy's afraid of snakes. Oh, agoraphobia. I can't remember, the fear of being touched or social or something like that. And apparently, they're being killed by one by someone about their phobias. I mean, by their sort of. They move at a snail's pace. I guess it's considered a slasher film. I personally don't consider it a slasher film, but I guess it's considered a slasher film. Uh it's pretty damn stupid. I mean, it was something to find like that. And then, I mean, what happens was that he told this girl, he says, "Girl, why don't you go to the market and stuff like that by yourself because she's afraid to go outside. Use the subway system and then come back to my house. I'll see you." And then my housekeeper will tell you all this stuff. And then, like, he said, "Oh, I forgot." And then, "Oh, you got to go to the thing." He plays hockey. He goes to a hockey game. She goes to his house, open up the cabinet with her name on it, and there's a bomb and it explodes. So they're trying to figure out, like they said, like one of your patrons is trying to kill you. And they're trying to interrogate these other people who are all criminals, right? They got this one guy in there, and that guy, the detective was so mean, it was actually kind of funny. They were real jerks to the guy, and the guy gets angry, and he beats up one cop, and there's a car chase, which was kind of neat. And then there was a couple parts that are neat in there, but most of the movie is really stupid. It moves at a snail's pace. It moves really slow. There's lots of slow talking pockets. It's never quite boring, but it could have been. It could have been. I mean, this was pretty bad. I mean, someone said it was the worst movie John Huston ever directed. And then, like, 6 years later, he went on to do Princey's Honor. I kind of really thought it sucked. I mean, some of it was unintentional humor, but not enough to recommend the movie. Yeah, but I mean, most of it is just dumb. And it's not, I mean, dumb. Not, I mean, dumb, I don't like dumb. Not dumb as in entertaining. It was just a bad movie. And I wonder why I never heard of it before, Phobia. And I guess it came and went. And then, like, John Huston probably made people mad for being in those Italian films, like, as an actor, like Tentacles, which I liked. And then that very strange Italian movie called The Visitor. That movie was damn weird. It was weird. But it was weird. Like, he did Princey's Honor. like 6 years later, got Oscar buzz. I don't know what he was thinking when he did this. It was really bad. I mean, I guess it's in the slasher genre. In my opinion, I don't consider it to be a slasher film, but I guess it's slasher light. I guess a little bit, but it's really bad. I give it a 3 out of 10. It has a 3.9 on IMDb. I was wondering why I never heard of it. I went on Wikipedia, and then they sometimes the movie they have like the budget, and then they'll have what it made in the box office. They had both that. It was distributed by Paramount. I think this was right around. Maybe they asked for another slide. I mean, I never heard of Phobia before until Cisco and Ebert mentioned that in that thing. Because that's when I forgot about that they mentioned it. Because they listed a whole group of movies. I forgot about that one. It had a budget. I couldn't about 5.1 million, and it did not look like there's 5.1 million dollars worth of movie on the screen. Maybe a million and a half at the most. And this is 1980. Today, I could understand maybe. But not back then. I mean, I don't know how it cost that much. And then the movie barely grossed $60,000, so it was a huge flop. It was really dumb. I really hated it. I give it a 3 out of 10. I mean, that's about right. Because there was a couple of good bright spots in it. I mean, it wasn't... It just took... I mean, it took me about a week to watch the whole thing. I watched about a half hour, and I kind of gave up. I thought, well, I should probably watch the whole thing and review it. It's alright. And then eventually it started getting good again. I mean, it just was slow. It's an hour and a half. I think the second half picks up. Because not really a lot happens in the movie. I mean, the cops are jerks, which is fine. But it's just pretty lousy. So I give it a 3 out of 10. I hope you like this review, everybody. Till next time, please take care of my legion. And I was glad I found it on YouTube for free. Take care, everybody.